Hey guys, back again. So let's continue with the app that we're building. Okay, I think it's this one. So what we did last time was filling the index and adding the routes with the controllers. Okay, so now I think we can just deal with the views. So let me just start this, not the index. So we can see what we have in the browser so far. Sorry. Okay. Oh, but I need my instance running. Let's start all because we already have Sequelize. Okay, and now that works. Okay, so we're not going to work right now into adding stuff into the database. We're just going to start the setup of the. Let me just move this. Am I recording? Yep. Okay, let me just do this and get this back up. Okay. So we should be ready to go into the browser. It's going to open there. Okay. I was working, so I'm just going to close all these I have and say HTTP localhost, and this one is 4000. Okay. We can see we have all routes. And what was the other one? Okay, it's not this one, it's the other one. Let me just go to index, and the other one is auth and register. Okay, so let's go there, /out /register. And we can see the other route that we have, but so far we are only returning. We just close this. This is the model. And of course we did the models and all that, so we can create the tables into Sequelize, into Laragon last time. So check that video if you don't know how to do that. And I was looking for the no, the controllers. So this is what we're sending on the register, and this is what we're sending on the root or the main route of our application. But we want this to be the main. Okay, let me just remove this instead of just sending some text. So we are here inside the index, and I still don't have. Okay, I have them up. Okay, so we already have the engine to be booked, so this should work. This should take it. Okay, so let's check it and see, because as far as I know, I should be able to add a folder, but I don't see that on my other project, so I don't know what the hell happened there. So in that case, it should be taken automatically. So let's just add a new folder here called views, and let's say, well, we want to create first a layout. Let me just create a new file, layout that book. You can see it shows the little icon. So what we're going to do inside this layout is create the HTML. So let me just go here and say HTML to book, and we have this HTML, and it's going to convert it in something like this. Okay, you can see, make this bigger, we don't have the tags, it's just the indentation. Okay, So we need to be careful following the same indentation for everything we have. Okay. So yeah, inside the index, not the index, sorry, inside the layout, I'm just going to copy. Well, let's type it. Doc type HTML. Okay. And let's say HTML. Let's type the first stuff so you can see. We add an indentation because we want the head tag to be inside the HTML. We add another indentation because we want the title to be inside the head. So the title is going to be Node Posts with Sequelize. So the point of this layout is to have all this information on every page or every view that I create inside this book engine. So that's the point of this. Instead of typing the same, for example, the head or the HTML document every time inside each single view, we're just going to set out a layout and use that layout to load everything we want on all the views. So in order to add a property, we use this parenthesis. Let me just make this bigger. And we add whatever we are going to specify. So this relationship, okay, that was my phone, style sheet. We just check. So it's linking, okay. Relationship style sheet and href. You can add a comma also, or you can just keep it like this. This one is going to be inside the CSS main.css. So it's going to look inside the CSS folder because we already have the public folder specified, okay? So it's going to check where the hell this is, or this matches, this path matches, and it's going to retrieve that, okay? Essentially. And let's say link href. So I'm going to use the Google Fonts API to retrieve this Poppins font, and let's say relationship also style sheet. I wasn't planning to record, so that's why I'm a little dense right now. So just bear with me, guys, and sorry about that. So because we don't want the body to be inside the head tag, we just move it one block before, okay? So this is going to be, let me just add it like this. So it's going to be, well, if I can type, of course, head, and then it's going to be a body, like that. If we added an indentation loss just as we are doing here, it would be like this, okay? But because we have it in the same block, then it's going to be like what we expect, okay? So what I'm going to do now is just add, let me just add this in case I don't want this to break, but instead of typing all this, let's just add it and try to keep the same indentation for all. So this is going to be the menus, okay? And I want the navigation. So right now this is not going to work that well. So I want the navigation there. The span is going to be inside the navigation as well as all this. Okay, and okay, let me just add an indentation there and see if that works, hopefully. Oh, this one. Okay. So this is the navigation. We're going to have this kind of, I forgot the freaking name of this stuff. A sliding, it's not that, It's not called that way, but it's a sliding navigation from left to right. Okay, and so this is essentially the structure of that. Don't worry too much about all this. We're going to come back and explain that later. I just want to have all the code here so I don't forget. And let me just copy this div. Okay, that of course is below here. We need to bring this back. Okay, on the line of the navigation, because don't want this div to be inside that. And we have this block content. Okay, so everything that has this name content is going to be inside this div, that container. Okay, you will see this, how this works in a bit. I'm just setting all the structure, and I'm going to copy and paste my JS. Okay, so this is how we're going to call the JavaScript file, because that is going to store the function for the navigation to slide in and out of the page. Okay, so let's save this, and this is not going to work because we are not using it anywhere. So we need to just come back inside the views, okay, and create a new main.pug. Okay, and we're going to say how we're going to add the layout into this. Let's say extends layout, and this next block is going to be the content. Okay, so it's going to be inside this. We can add other blocks. Let's say block in sidebar, and it's going to display as we want, but it's going to be like this. Essentially, we say block sidebar instead of content, and we can add all the information that we want, and it's going to be loaded whenever and wherever we place this block with a specific name. Okay, so let's save that and let's come back. So we have the content, and we need to keep also the indentation. So let's call this, or let's use a section here, and let's say just h1 posts. Let's save this, and of course, if we go to the browser, we still see all post routes. So what we need to do is to come to the, I'm still too dense for this, and it's 3:26 p.m. So today I didn't have too much to do, so that's why I was just checking my social media and watching some videos on YouTube. So I'm still kind of dense. As I said, wasn't planning to record today, but let's, since I have the time, let's at least get something out of this. So we need to go to the routes, and instead of using response.send, we're going to use response.render, and we are going to add the name of the stuff that we want to render. Okay, so let me just go back and double check something inside my posts. Let me just check. Give me a minute, guys. Yep. What I'm going to do is just add this, save it, and you can see it has been modified. You cannot see it because I still have this, which I'm going to check this weekend. So to remove that stuff. So I had my other copy of Windows. I'm not sure if that's going to work, but I will see. If not, well, I will just do something about it. So what we need to do? Okay, come here and let's see. Okay, and you can see instead of returning text, we're returning everything we have: the node and Sequelize post, the navigation, okay, and so let me just double check that for you to see at least. So this is the head, the body, the navigation, okay, And we're loading also the JS function. And let me just Control U. We should be able to see this. And this is how it looks, at least here inside Brave. You can see all that HTML. And you can see we're loading also our JS function JS. So, and this post is because we're loading the main, which is the file that has that specific text. Okay. So how we load this again? We say instead of response.send, we say response.render, and we add the name of the specific file that we want to render. Okay. So since the main only has the section but is loading the layout, it displays everything just like this. Okay. And it's just the same for the rest of the views. So that's pretty simple to do actually. And we're not going to create all the views right now, I think. But let me just go to the ones that we already have. So you can just keep this in mind, how to work with the views, and just come to this video later if you get stuck or something. So let's say register that book, and I'm just going to copy and paste the code. Again, we extend the layout. We use the content, the block content, because we want to replace what is going to happen from here to all the thing underneath. So let's save this, and we need to go now not inside post controller but inside our out controller and say response.render, and we say we want to render the file called register, and okay, we get the notification. And if we first of all refresh this just in case and go to out and register, you can see everything that was below the layout inside the block content was replaced. Okay, so let me just go there one more time. So this is the block content, and we're replacing the form. Okay, before we had this section and post, now it's being replaced by this section and the form. Of course, this is not working, but this is just a regular freaking thing. This is just a regular form. You can see we are going to have the action to something that we still don't have. Well, we have the route, but it's not doing anything. We're going to go to out register and receive a post request there. Okay, spoiler alert. And we're going to add the multi-part form data into the end type because we want to get a file out of this. Okay, and the method of course is going to be post. We added the email. Okay, so this is how you're going to type the label and the input. And I don't still have a text area, but you will see this is not too difficult. So once you get used to all this indentation and this weird syntax, you should be able to get it pretty quickly. And you might be thinking, what the hell is this? Then we can return some stuff with the routes. Okay, right now we are not returning anything, but this if error and if success are things that we can return. Okay, from the backend, let's call it like that, from Node.js to the view that we have. Okay, but we will see this later. I will explain all this later. I just want to have the code there and not worrying about forgetting something, because you know sometimes I do forget to add some stuff. That's why I'm adding everything like so. So you just need to copy all this to create a new form. This is not too complex, and copy the document in order to add the the layout in order to follow along if you want, and then you can change it. So you can see we have the body inside a div. These are IDs, okay. We have then a navigation, a nav tag, and the span inside, which is going to close the navigation. And we have the UL with all these routes, okay, that some we still don't have, okay, but we are going to create that just so we don't have, sorry, to come back to this file and start adding everything as we go. Okay, so everything will be connected, and we will only focus on adding the functionality inside all this that we're going to type by hand. So we're not going to copy and paste that. Only this, because this is not too difficult. Okay, and we have a div that is loading the block that we want to place, and the script. If you have a script, if you want to load maybe AdSense or whatever script inside all your views, you add them here. If not, you can just go to a specific view and add a script below. Okay, that's the only thing that you need to keep in mind in order to load scripts or CSS. But usually that is done with the scripts. Okay, you can just load the CSS and add the classes as you want inside this layout. So that was a simple video, nothing too fancy, nothing that I don't think you will get stuck with all this. So if you get stuck later with Puck, just come to this video and check how everything is set up, how to load them, and you should be fine. So thank you guys, and see you in the next one.